What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tutorial Tuesdays. Today I'm going to be showing you how to throw playing cards into objects like fruit, objects like foam, or cardboard, whatever you guys want. I'm going to be showing you how to first start off throwing playing cards just in general, and then I'll be showing you how to throw them a lot harder to get them to stick into those objects. Now, this video is not sponsored by the movie Jumanji. However, they did give me this shirt for free, so I'm not going to complain. So the biggest problem I see people have when they try and learn to throw cards is they take it and throw it like they would a frisbee. And that doesn't work too well because playing cards and frisbees are a little bit different. So if you think you're going to be tempted to throw it like that, you might even want to learn with the opposite hand you throw a frisbee with, so maybe your non-dominant hand, so you can really just try and learn it differently. So to start off, what you should do is isolate what is actually giving the card that rotation to be able to be thrown very far. And so really just pin your arm against your side, and with your other hand, make sure that this is not moving at all. Really, all that's going to be happening here is your wrist and fingers are going to be moving to throw the playing card. You really just want to get that isolated motion. You're going to have your hand parallel to the ground, and make sure it's not rotated too much. And what you're going to do is kind of just snap your wrist forward, and your fingers will go along with it. You can use your fingers as well, a little bit independently of your wrist, but really this is what gives it that correct motion where it's not wobbling. It's going to kind of slice through the air, just like that. Now, if you're doing it like this, you really shouldn't have too many problems. You'll notice that it does go kind of far. Now, it's not going to go super far. You're probably not going to be cutting through fruit when you're throwing just like this, but you can definitely get the motion and you'll learn exactly what needs to be done with your wrist to make the card go how you want it to go. Now, once you can do this pretty solidly and really start to be able to get a little bit harder, you can really then get the whole arm in there, just like that. And eventually you can get it to kind of go sideways. This is where you can get a little more power, because you can wind up, because here you only can wind up to here. When you have it sideways like a frisbee, you can really snap it and really get it going. And then just slowly kind of work your way to doing that. And make sure if they start wobbling too much, maybe just go back, practice just doing that wrist motion, really get that solid, because that's the biggest problem is if you're just throwing too much with your arm and it doesn't come out correctly. Really, you want to prevent that from happening at all. Really just keep practicing throwing the cards just like that, and then eventually you get a little bit more power. I'm going to go pick up all these cards. So once you're able to throw cards like this and generate a little bit of power, really work on aiming it. So really try and focus on a target and really just watch that and aim for it. And then eventually you'll see, okay, this one went a little to the left, maybe I need to release it a little differently. And then really focus on trying to get a little bit generalized of an area. Now, you're really not going to be able to get it in the same spot every time, and that's okay. It's really hard to get this consistent. And if you're really going for just getting it in one spot, really what I a lot of times go back to is really just getting that. So when you do it with just the wrist, you can really focus on one point and aim it a lot better. However, if you're going for more power, you really need to wind up, then that's where I recommend getting that whole arm in. Now, you may notice that card throwers like Rick Smith Jr., I believe he is one of the best card throwers, if not the best. I'm not really sure, I'm not into the whole card throwing community, but you'll notice that he throws kind of overhand. Now, this is where you generate the most amount of power. So he was actually, I believe, a college baseball pitcher. He could throw 90 plus miles an hour from what I know, and that's why he's able to throw cards the way he does. So what you want to do is the hand that you throw a baseball with, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to be showing it with my left hand. What he does, hold the card the same way you would as if you were throwing it like I showed you earlier, except this time you're really going to wind up a lot more. Now you can even get your leg in there as well, so your opposite leg will go up and then you'll go down with it. And this is where you can generate a ton of power, but you sacrifice a little bit of accuracy to do so. So really, you're going to be doing the same exact motion you were before. Instead of starting here or starting here, you're starting all the way up here. and wind up, and then make a throw like you would be throwing a baseball. If you don't really know how to throw a baseball, just try and mimic what I'm doing the best you can, and really, that's where you can generate a ton of power because you have a big wind up. You're getting the whole body in there. A little bit is even coming from your core. So really, that's where you can throw cards incredibly fast. I think you can throw them 100 plus miles an hour. That was a bad one, but hold on. There we go. That's where a lot of the power is gonna be coming from once you start throwing it overhand. But like I said, you're gonna be risking some accuracy when you do that. So really, you just need to find the point where you're able to throw it into the objects you want to throw it into. So for example, if you've got kind of an old mushy apple and you really want to get into that, I'm probably able to just do that just by flicking my wrist, having a little bit of motion. But if I were to get it into an object like maybe a watermelon, the outside of it that is, the skin, I'm probably going to have to overhand throw it right into the watermelon itself rather than just using my wrist. So find out what you need, what kind of power you need to get it into the object, and then do it accordingly. So if you need to get it into just kind of a foam cardboard, you don't need to be throwing it overhand to do that. So really just try and use the minimum power needed to get it into the object is what I'm trying to say. So that's about it for this video. If you have any questions, like always, please leave a comment below if I wasn't clear on something or if you're having some trouble. But if you really just break it down, like I said at the beginning, just to this motion, you're probably not going to have too many problems. And if you ever start seeing it wobbling too much, maybe go back to that and really just getting that solid. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, you making through this whole video. If you have any ideas for any future tutorials, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment below. I'm always looking for new ideas. I also put out 2 new videos a week, one on Tuesdays, one on Fridays. So subscribe if you want to see all that. Click the bell notification to get notified when I do post. You can be one of the first people to watch. That's about it. Thank you again for watching. Peace.